Sounds good to me.
We're looking at Santa Anita Park Race 6. A maiden special weight,
Oh.
$60,000 purse, mile-long dirt track, a field of 3-year-old maidens.
Right.
All hoping to snag that first win. Should be pretty exciting.
Maiden special weight races are always interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't, it's a little bit of a blank slate, right?
Yeah.
They're all looking for their breakthrough moment.
Mm-hmm.
It can be anyone's race. And, you know, for those of us who like a little wager,
Sure.
these races are a real puzzle. Trying to predict which horse has that hidden potential, that's part of the fun.
So you're saying experience isn't everything in these races?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't just look at their past performances because, well, they haven't really performed yet.
Yeah.
You got to look deeper, you know,
Correct.
at their workouts, their breeding, and even something called the prime power rating.
Prime power rating, okay.
You'll
That's
see.
the things that we can find at our sources.
Yes.
The Racing Form Report
Yeah.
and the Brisnet past performances.
Yeah. You'll find it in the Brisnet reports.
Oh, okay.
It basically crunches a bunch of data about the horse's lineage, their workouts, even the performance of their siblings,
Wow.
to come up with a number that reflects their theoretical ability.
So like a power ranking for racehorses?
Sort of.
Okay.
But it's more about potential than proven ability. You know, think of it as a way to level the playing field when you're looking at horses who haven't won yet.
Okay, I'm starting to see the value in that. Now, the Racing Form is pointing to Baeza and Varney as the favorites in this race.
Right.
What makes them stand out?
Well, Baeza has shown some real consistency. He placed second in his last race, and he had the highest speed figure in this field at 88.
Okay.
Plus, his workouts have been solid. He's not the flashiest horse, but he's reliable.
The Racing Form also mentioned his jockey, Hector Berrios, who has a 23% win rate.
Right.
And his trainer, John Sheriffs, who's known for getting the best out of his horses over time. Those seem like pretty good signs.
They are. But if we look at his prime power rating, it's 125.3, which is good, the fourth best in the field,
Okay.
but not miles ahead of the competition.
Okay, so there's room for another horse to steal the show.
Potentially, yeah.
What about Varney? He's got that Bob Baffert connection,
Right.
which always turns heads.
Of course.
Baffert has a 31% win rate, and Varney's jockey, Juan Hernandez, boasts a 26% win rate. Those are some impressive numbers.
They are. And what's really interesting is that this is only Varney's second race.
Wow, okay.
He came in third in his debut, but his recent workouts suggest he could be on the verge of a breakout performance.
Mm-hmm.
Like on February 3rd, he ran 4 furlongs in 48 seconds. That was the third fastest time out of 32 horses that day.
Okay, so he's clearly got speed.
He does.
How does his prime power rating compare to Baeza's?
Varney's is actually a bit higher at 126.3, the third best in the field.
Okay.
But again, it's all theoretical at this point.
Yeah.
We're just looking for clues as to which horse might exceed expectations.
So it sounds like both favorites have their strengths. Baez is consistent and has a good team behind him, while Varney has raw speed and the potential to improve dramatically.
For sure.
This is getting tough to call.
That's what makes maiden races so exciting.
Right.
But let's add another layer of intrigue to this race.
Right.
Baffert actually has another horse running, Mellencamp.
Wait, 2 Baffert horses in the same race?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm really paying attention. What's the story with Mellencamp?
Well, he's a bit of a wild card. He's got a strong prime power rating at 129.5,
Okay.
second best in the field.
Right.
And this will be his first race using Lasix, which is a medication that can improve a horse's breathing.
Hold on. What's Lasix and why does it matter?
It's a diuretic that's often used to help horses who might have breathing issues, especially over longer distances.
Okay.
And statistically, Baffert horses running on Lasix for the first time have a 38% win rate.
Wow, 38% win rate.
Yeah, it's definitely a factor worth considering.
So Mellencamp could be a real contender then, even though he hasn't had a standout performance yet.
It's definitely a possibility. He did have a decent workout on January 19th,
Okay.
but his last race was a bit underwhelming. He finished 5th with a speed figure of 87. So the question is, can Lasix be the game changer that unlocks his potential?
All right, so we've got 2 strong favorites in Baeza and Varney,
Yes.
and a wild card in Mellencamp,
Yeah.
all with impressive prime power ratings. I'm already feeling the pressure of picking a winner.
Yeah.
But wait, there's a whole field of horses in this race. Are any of the others worth considering?
Well, the Racing Form lists Flying Private as a long shot at 10-1 odds.
Okay.
He's switching from turf to dirt for this race, and he'll also be using Lasix for the first time. So there's potential for improvement.
I love a good underdog story.
Yeah.
Is there anything in his past performances that suggests he could pull off an upset?
To be honest, his last race was pretty dismal.
Yeah.
He finished 8th with a speed figure of 61, which is significantly lower than the favorites. And his recent workouts haven't been anything to write home about either.
So what would have to happen for Flying Private to defy those odds?
He'd need a perfect storm. A clean break from the gate, a pace scenario that works in his favor, and a truly exceptional ride from his jockey. It's not impossible, but it's a long shot for sure. But let's kind of shift gears for a moment and talk about how this race might actually play out. The racing form suggests that Mellencamp will likely set the pace,
Okay.
with Varney and Baeza not far behind.
Okay, so we could have a real battle for the lead early on. What does that mean for our betting strategy?
Well, if Mellencamp and Varney push each other early, it could set up a scenario where a horse with a strong closing kick could come from behind and snatch the win.
Like Baeza. His consistency suggests he could handle that kind of race.
Exactly. He might not have the flashy early speed of the others,
Right.
but he's shown he can stay in the game and make a move when it counts.
So if we're thinking about betting on this race, what kind of wagers should we consider?
Well, the racing form gives a few recommendations. They like Baeza for a safe win bet, an exacta box with Baeza and Varney for a bit more excitement, and a trifecta.
Okay.
Adding Mellencamp for those who want to go all in on those top 3 contenders. And they even suggest Varney as a long shot play for those who like a bit of risk.
Let's break these down a bit. What's the logic behind Baeza as a safe win bet?
Well, it really comes down to his consistency and the fact that he's shown he can handle this distance and this level of competition. Plus, his jockey and trainer have solid track records. It's not a guaranteed win, but it's a reasonable bet.
All right, that makes sense. What about the exacta box with Baeza and Varney? Why would someone choose that over just betting on Baeza to win?
Well, an exacta box means you're betting on those 2 horses finishing first and second in any order.
Okay.
It gives you 2 chances to win, and it acknowledges the fact that Varney could have a breakout performance and beat Baeza.
So it's a way to hedge your bet a little and increase your chances of winning something, even if the payout might be slightly lower. What about adding Mellencamp to the mix with a trifecta? Is that just wishful thinking, or is there a real chance that those 3 horses could dominate?
Well, it's not out of the realm of possibility. If Mellencamp's prime power rating translates to actual performance, and the Lasix gives him that extra edge, he could definitely be in the mix. Of course, a trifecta is a harder bet to win,
Right.
but the payouts can be significant if you get it right.
Okay, let's talk about that long shot play with Varney. What makes him a tempting bet, even though he's relatively untested?
His workouts have been phenomenal. If he can translate that raw speed to race day performance, and he gets a clean trip without any interference,
Right.
he could upset the favorites. And at 5-2 odds, the potential payoff could be worth the risk for some bettors.
So we've got a lot to consider here. The favorites, the wild card, the long shot. It seems like this race could go in a lot of different directions. Is there anything else we should be thinking about as we make our picks?
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the data, the past performances, the workouts, the prime power ratings.
But there's also the human element to consider.
Okay.
The jockeys and the trainers play a huge role in how a horse performs.
That's a good point. We know the stats for the jockeys and trainers involved.
Yeah.
But how much weight should we give those numbers when making our final decisions?
It's a balance. Statistics can give us insights, but they don't tell the whole story.
Okay.
A skilled jockey can make all the difference in a close race.
Yeah.
And a top trainer knows how to prepare their horse for peak performance.
So it sounds like we need to look at the numbers, but also consider the intangibles. The jockey's experience, the trainer's style, these things can have a real impact on the outcome.
Absolutely. And sometimes you just have a gut feeling about a horse or a jockey.
Oh, yeah.
Don't discount those instincts.
Okay.
Horse racing is a complex sport.
You're right.
And there's always an element of unpredictability.
That's what makes it so exciting.
Exactly.
So as we head into this Valentine's Day race, what's your final piece of advice for those of us looking to place a bet?
Do your research.
Consider the data, but don't be afraid to trust your instincts. And most importantly, have fun.
So it sounds like you're saying there's more to horse racing than just picking a winner.
Absolutely. I mean, these horses are incredible athletes. And watching them thunder down the track is a spectacle in itself. It's a sport steeped in history and tradition, and there's a real sense of community among those who love it.
And it seems like there's always something new to learn. I mean, we just scratched the surface today with these prime power ratings.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And the whole world of horse racing statistics.
There's so much depth to explore.
Yeah.
You know, breeding, training techniques, race strategy. It's a fascinating blend of art and science.
Maybe we need to do another deep dive sometime, focusing specifically on those prime power
I'd
ratings.
be up for that.
I'm really curious to learn more about how they work.
Yeah, it's fascinating. But for now, let's enjoy the anticipation of Santa Anita's Race 6.
Yeah.
May the best horse win.
And may your Valentine's Day be filled with excitement. Maybe a winning ticket or two,
There you go.
and a newfound appreciation for the amazing world of horse racing.
Hear, hear. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
We'll catch you next time for another exploration of something fascinating. Until then, happy betting.